Hey guys, welcome back to Geared Forward. My name's Paul, and today we're taking a look at this guy, the Otacle S1 by Olight or Oknife, whatever you want to call them when they make this kind of thing. So let's go ahead and jump straight into a bit of a size comparison first. I'll do this both with and without the Kydex sheath that it comes included with. So up top we have a 91mm Sasami knife, and down below we have a 58mm. And then without the sheath giving it that extra length. Okay, and then let's go on into a tool overview. So this is basically a 4-part tool. We have a cord cutter down here, or a seatbelt cutter. We have a glass breaker up top, and then on the other side we have a wrench along with a pry bar. One you could arguably call this a large screwdriver, I guess, but that's going to be a wide screw, maybe camera plates at most. And then we have some skeletonizing just to make this a bit lighter, and some jimping on the back. And in terms of hold, that's what it's going to look like when you're using the seatbelt cutter. And for the rest, I guess kind of like this, but we will talk about that more in a second. So first of all, let's test out this cutter. This is actually the sharpest of this style of cutter I've ever owned. I've owned a few of them, and they've all, let me put it gently, sucked. They've sucked. So here we just have some post-it paper, and pretty easily, actually. And then just starting to tear at the end there. So I didn't expect it to handle paper that well, to be honest. I didn't expect much from it, period. But when we come to some, say, paracord, this is actually survival cord, so you have your normal 7 strands, but then additionally there is a waxed cotton and a normal cotton thread in there, so this is a little harder to get through cleanly than normal paracord. But it makes pretty easy work of it. And if I wasn't constrained at my desk underneath the camera, that would have been even quicker and easier. As we can see, there's a nice clean cut. So in terms of this cutter, this performs exceptionally well. It is a very well done cutter, which is important, I think, because this is effectively kind of a rescue tool in terms of this end of it, right? You can use this for cutting other stuff like cord, but really that's going to be best at cutting something like a seatbelt, which when paired with the glass breaker makes sense. So you can get a close-up of that glass breaker. Looks like a carbide insert onto the steel of the tool itself. But then, so what is this tool really for is going to be the question here. Now, as a rescue tool, I think it would do an okay job. However, you do then also have to look at something like a Rescue Me, which is cheaper, I think, and has a spring-loaded glass breaker in it, so it's a little bit more easy to use, requires a lot less arm movement, and is more accessible for more people to use. As an EDC tool, I guess we have a good sturdy pry bar here, and a wrench that, I'm going to be honest, I've never used a wrench like this. Maybe if you, I don't know, cycled or something, but I can't see this kind of wrench being a commonly used tool for most people. I'm glad that it's there to add some utility. I would have liked to have seen a ruler on this, but we also don't really have much of a straight edge to use a ruler on. I guess maybe here, I don't know. This is just such a weird tool, and it's weird because let's say we want to use the glass breaker. We're then trying to support the glass breaker by pushing down on the end of the prying end. I mean, that's not comfortable. And if it takes you any more than one attempt to get through the glass, I wouldn't be surprised if putting a serious amount of force into your thumb here is not going to cause some kind of injury to your thumb. That's not great, but then if you want to use this as a pry tool, you're kind of, the ergonomics are entirely based around doing this. So when you flip it around to do this, you're kind of awkwardly mashing your pinky a little bit towards the cutter. I don't think you're seriously going to injure yourself, but the possibility is there, and that's unpleasant. Now, of course, you do have the option of using the sheath, which makes this a little awkward, but it is a possibility. Just whilst there, let's talk about the sheath. Overall, the sheath is pretty good. It's got a good retention. And it comes included with this nice deep carry clip, which gets you right up to the top. In terms of functionality of the sheath, I would really have liked to have seen a thumb ramp molded into the Kydex, because without it, it's kind of awkward to push down and get out. A thumb ramp would have just made that so much easier. And in terms of this clip, it's a good clip, but the retention isn't great enough to reliably pull this tool out without pulling the clip off of what it's clipped to. So if you're interested in this tool, I would probably recommend swapping this out for something like an ulti-clip, just to give you some more retention so you can reliably pull this out without this coming loose, or at the very least put some paracord or maybe even a ball chain or something through these rivets here so that you can secure it down to whatever it's clipped to just a little better. Overall, I think this is a tool that you put in a car or in a backpack that you take out when you need it. I mean, with the sheath on, this would do okay for some heavier duty prying tasks, and you do have the rescue capability should you need it. However, if you're looking for a tool like this, I'm not entirely sure I could recommend this over something like a Rescue Me and a proper pry bar. That said, if you do buy it, I'm sure it's going to have some utility. And this was decently cheap. I think on sale, this was something like 15-ish, I think. I got it as part of a bundle, so I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. But it's a decent tool. I'm just not sure that I can solidly recommend it should you be looking for something like this. I think really you're probably looking at just getting two different tools. Get a tool to do this part. Again, Rescue Me is well known and works well. And then get a tool to do this part, and you'll be better off. That's just what I think. What do you think about the S1? Is there something about this tool that I'm missing? I will say that the ergonomics whilst you're cutting is actually fantastic. It melts into your hand, but the ergonomics the other way, not great. So am I missing something? Let me know down in the comment section down below. This is not as compelling as I originally thought it would be. And whilst you're down there, I'd greatly appreciate a hit of that like and subscribe button. It does greatly help the channel grow, and I appreciate each and every one of you. If you would like to help get more new products on this channel so we can see some other things, then go ahead and consider a subscribe to the Patreon or YouTube membership, or a donation directly to Coffee, and helps me get new tools down just to give a quick review to. But that's just been it. A quicker review today just of this weird little guy, and I'll see you, you, in the next one.